What is up? What's poppin'? You know it ain't no stopping. It is your boy, the International Sensei, and welcome to the Entity Dojo podcast, your source for every freaking thing. And of course, we are here on a Monday motivation across the nation because the dreams we steady chasing. And of course, you know the vibes. Keep it right, keep it tight, and above all, please talk to me nice. You thought I was gonna forget the saying? Nope, never forgotten. But we're here today to talk about how essential mentors can be. And for all of you young people out there that happen to watch, or parents that are watching that have young kids and you want to talk to them or have them tune in, I do occasionally curse, but it's nothing too crazy. Probably nothing that you've never said at home. Anyway, but having a really strong mentor is important, and a mentor that's not your parents. Like, I've noticed going throughout my years of life, it's important to listen to what your parents say and things like that, but it's a lot better for your growth to have a mentor that you're not related to and have that person that slowly becomes part of the family, if that makes sense. I have tons of people that I call my aunts and my uncle or my brother and stuff, and I have great family. I have great aunts and uncles. I have great brothers and sisters, but it's that adopted family that really impacts you the most, and stuff with your decision making and things in life, just because they're, I don't know, I guess because they're on the outside looking in, you know what I mean? A lot of times at being with family, they're going to tell you what you want to hear sometimes. Not all the time, obviously, but there's a lot of times that family will spare your feelings. When you have those people that have really helped shape you that you're not related to, they're not going to care. They're going to give you the real raw facts. And sometimes you're not going to want to hear it, but a lot of times it's a lot easier to hear it from someone that you're not blood to, because it doesn't hurt as much. Even if you value that person's opinion, you're taking it more of food for thought as opposed to someone dumping on you. One of my mentors in life was a man by the name of Kevin Taylor. He had a class called Jobs for Georgia Graduates, and the class was weird. This dude, I love Mr. Taylor, but this dude, he really never worked. You know what I mean? And when I say he never worked, I mean, he only did what he enjoyed. He enjoyed speaking, he enjoyed imparting his knowledge, so he really never had a job at the school, but he was there as an employee. So I came in, I signed up for the class because I met a girl by the name of Sydney Coppins. Shout out to Sydney. She's studying to be a doctor now. And she was real cool. We met in gym class, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in this organization called JGG. It's a really good club. Da da da. It'll help you a lot." So I got a recommendation from her to go, and it was really an exclusive class. So you had to know somebody that was in it, or you had to be super duper on with your stuff, because it was only 3 periods for the semester. So it was first, second, and third period. Those are the only times you can get into the class. So you had to really get picked, honestly. So I got picked. I think I had it third period or whatever time I had it. But it was an organization that really helped me in it, and it's something that I always go back to and look at. What we had was called the JGG bag, and it basically was this fat binder full of information and stuff like that. And one of the things about Mr. Taylor was he was an avid reader. He loved poetry. He loved reading, and he would always give you something. And not realizing when I was around him, he was really shaping me into becoming a caster and becoming a person that uses their voice for a living. And I didn't realize that until I started going back to his stuff and going back to the things that he would make me do, getting up on stage and presenting and giving one of the speeches at our commencement ceremony for JGG and different things like that. But he was really essential to my growth, and he's still someone that I keep in contact with. I keep in contact with a lot of people, but he's one of the people that I really make sure that I try to call once a month. "Hey, Mr. Taylor, how you doing?" And it's just amazing how that's out of all the years I was in high school. Obviously you're in high school for 4 years. That was the 1 year where I really felt I was learning something of true value. And here's why I say that, because I get the maths and the sciences and things like that if you are going into that field. But if you aren't sure where you want to go, or you need a leg up and you need an alternate path. Let's say if you do finish college and this is really not what you want to do, JGG was probably the best thing for me because it gave me a lot of extra things and it made me good at a lot of other things. It made me a very good talker. It made me able to get on the mic for hours and do commentary and sit on a podcast and just talk and think of different topics on the fly and be more creative in what I'm talking about. And it's so helpful. And I wish stuff like this existed more because I feel like I know for me, and I've met a lot of people that were like this, they leave high school feeling unfulfilled. Like you felt like you just wasted 4 years. And here's why I say that, because it feels like you're just getting babysat. You're not going there to learn anything. Like you might, if you're like a science major, you might learn a couple things here or there, but like I don't need to spend an hour a day in a freaking history class when I know for a fact I will never need this information. And it holds true that you will never need a lot of the information that you learn. Now the math stuff, of course, you're going to need that. Some of the science stuff, if that is your field. But you're making this person come to school every single day, 7 days, excuse me, not 7 days a week, but 5 days a week, freaking 8 hours a day, damn near a freaking job, and making them stress over nonsense. Like, literally, like, majority of what high school is a bunch of nonsense. And that's just facts. Like, you don't learn anything essential outside of the maths and some of the sciences. Because there's certain sciences that you will never need. But it's like, it's just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. I wish there were more things like JGG for kids, especially nowadays. Because it helps so much. Like, it helps you, it helped me get over stage fright. It helped me learn how to write a speech. It helped me think on the fly. It helped me understand that I need to incorporate more things. Like, even if you're a speaker, like when I give speeches or if I talk to people, there's a reason why I'm random at times, but it's still almost like a structured randomness because I'll think of an extra point, or before I go on, I'll think of something extra. And when I was going through like speech classes and things like that, it helped me a lot because I was able to give something that no one else thought of. So, like, if I was giving a speech on spreading diseases, at one point, I thought to myself, hey, why not just bring $1 out and pass that dollar around and explain how everyone could get infected just by having that dollar passed around the room. You know what I mean? So it's like a thing that just builds your structure, and you're able to really like feed off of that and apply that to life. You know what I mean? I think that's what high school and the education system is missing. It's not applying what you need for life. It's not applying anything you need for life, really. Like, I mean, they're giving you like a couple little tests here, stupid ass standardized tests, the freaking SAT, ACT. All it's showing is if you can take a test well or not. It is not showing you what you really need for life. Not showing you about taxes, the laws, all the damn history we learning, but we don't know no damn laws. We don't learn nothing about the laws, but we know who freaking ate a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich on the freaking Brooklyn Bridge in 1962, whatever the hell. Like, it's just so stupid, and people to this day get mad at me when I'm like, look, it was a waste of time, and I will continue to think it was a waste of time. Like, at most, I had one class a semester, or one class a year that I genuinely learned something impactful from that I still use to this day. And that's 7 classes a day, and out of those 7 classes in a day, I learned one thing from one class each year. And I paid attention. I was a kid. I showed up on time, sometimes early. I paid attention in class. And there was a lot of stuff that I will not ever need. And there's a lot of just wasted days. That's why I'm very glad to see there's a lot of kids now that know they want to go to college, that are doing the move on when readies and things like that. But for the kids that don't or are unsure, they're in that kind of limbo space, there needs to be more things like JGG. It should be exclusive, but it shouldn't be so exclusive. It should be something that you can go into because you have aptitude for something, or that you're good at something, but you need more confidence, or you need more structure, or you need something. It still should be an organization people strive to get into, but it should be something that's available across the board. Every school should have it. So there should be a JGN, a JJN, NG or whatever, jobs for New York graduates, or JFG, jobs for Florida graduates, whatever it is. Have that so that kids can really get impacted by a positive individual, and give them stuff about the real world. Like, talk to them about things. Like, we went, when I tell you we went full circle in that class, like, he would have guest speakers. We had a guy that was an engineer for Sun Chips, and this dude was mopping floors on a college campus, then became a military man, went from military man to becoming an engineer, and then engineering the bag for Sun Chips. We had other people that were in college, not sure if they wanted to commit to it, like, were regretting the decision to go into college. They had people that were public speakers per their profession that were coming in there talking to us about that. Just tons of different individuals that were there to just show us, not necessarily a roadmap, but show us that so many different paths can happen throughout life. You're not on this linear trajectory and you're just going to be stuck in this one same place, and you're going to be doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And it's something that I'm very glad that I kept. Because what happens with a lot of stuff in high school, you finish high school, you get your diploma, you throw all that shit away. And that's real facts. That is literally probably the only piece of tech, like, and from going to college and from high school, that is the only piece of, like, freaking text and knowledge that I kept in the house with me. Like, it's a fat binder. It's like probably 300-400 pages worth of information that I keep in my binder that I've let my mother use when she was teaching. I've shown to my friends. I take poems in there when I need to have public speaking events, or when I'm on here doing my thing on the podcast. It's just so much. And I call Mr. Taylor all the time. I call him like once every month, every 2 months, just to see how he's doing, just to let him know I still think about him, and to thank him, because there are times that people often get into this thing of, okay, well, I have to follow the stereotypical life. I gotta go here, I gotta go there, and I gotta work at this dead-end job until I keel over. And that's not, like, it's not bad. Let me not even say till you keel over, but you're gonna work at a office job or whatever, and that's what you do for your life. And that's great for a lot of people. Not for everyone. And that was a course that really kind of hammered that home. Like, it had elements of getting a job in the corporate world and dressing for success and things like that, but it also was staying inside yourself and understanding what you're really good at. What do you have a talent for? What do you have a passion for? We would always talk about stuff like passion. What is your passion? If you want a thing bad enough, you got to go out and fight for it. Work day and night for it. Give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it. If all you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and give up all terror of opposition for it, if you simply go after that thing with all your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, confidence, and stern pertinacity, if either cold, sickness, famine, or gout, sickness of pain of body and brain can keep you away from that thing that you want, if dogged and grim you beseech and beset it with the help of God, you will get it. And that was a poem that he would use. Like, he would be in speeches, and I would literally, I was always glad, like, when I had to speak at events with him, that I always went before him. Like, he never let any of the students follow him, because first of all, he's impossible to follow. And I wish he was younger, because I know, like, how great he would be if he was able to get on, like, the social media platforms and just spread his words, because he was such a strong speaker and he was such a good and captivating speaker. But he's retired now. He's chilling, you know what I mean? So anyway, but being on the stage with that dude and, like, having him just be able to grab you and grabbing high school kids, you know what I mean? Like, he's not like, I mean, adults, like, it's kind of like the easy work. You're grabbing a bunch of these freaking teenagers who really don't give a damn about what you're saying. And you got people freaking going crazy in the crowd, and he's just moving people and being able to, like, keep this energy of a bunch of young kids who more often than not were falling asleep at events like that, where he was on the stage, everybody was up, everybody was paying attention to listening, and he was just such a inspiration. It's why